Hello, it's ElectraSnow. As you all know, June is Pride Month, so let's bring on the rainbow glitter nails. Now you've probably noticed, but these nails aren't just rainbow, but they're UV reactive as well, so you can wear them with pride while you're popping your pussy at, well, Pride. Let's get on to everything you're going to need to achieve these rainbow glitter nails. These nails aren't just UV in the case that they glow under blacklight, but they also need UV to cure and go hard, because I'm using a UV reactive gel. So if you are using gel like I am for this, you are going to need a UV reactive nail lamp. But I am completely self-taught with this. I'm no way professional. Everything you see I'm doing here, I've learnt myself. But if you are looking to do this look at home with your natural nails, you can of course use clear nail varnish for this. Just wait till later in the video when I start to do the rainbow glittery effect and you'll see how it's done. But if you'd like to save yourself a load of money in nail salons and you want to learn how to make your own nails, stick around from this point and I'll show you a few tips and tricks that I've learnt myself along the way. While I was rambling away there, I was demonstrating that you're going to need a cuticle pusher, obviously to push back your cuticles. You're going to need to use 3 files as well. The one with the white edge I only use on my natural nails, and the one with the black edge I only use on my nail tips or when I've got gel on. The white one itself is a 100-180 grit, and that I use to file back my nails so everything's nice and smooth and in shape so I can apply the tips to the top. Next thing you're going to need is a nail primer, dehydrator, and of course nail glue. And you're going to need the stars of the show, of course, the rainbow glitters. You can use any colours you want for this, but of course, being since it's Pride Month, I'm going with the typical rainbow colours. This is something called finishing wipe, and once the nails are all finished and you've done your final coat, they still have a sticky layer on top. This basically just wipes that away, so you've not got that tacky residue left on the nails. I use 2 brushes, the white tip one to apply the gel, and the fluffier one to apply the glitter. And obviously, all that stuff would be pointless if you didn't have these nail tips. These ones I recently picked up off of eBay, and they already come pre-shaped into the talons that I like. Now that's all out of the way, let's get onto the nails themselves, shall we? As you can see, I've already done my right hand. I am right-handed, so this is my worst hand to do, so I applied that all off of camera. Now the thing you always want to start with when you're doing your nails is pushing your cuticles back. I never used to understand why this was important, and I never really used to do it, but when I started doing it, my nail varnish and nails started to last a hell of a lot longer. It just basically pushes all that dead skin cells back so you've got nice fresh nails so you can apply your extensions or your nail colour and it stays on there longer without chipping. Next I'm using that buffer file with the white edge, and I'm just using that to take off any shine that's on the nails. Next I'm using the white 100-180 grit file, and I'm using that to take off any new nail growth, keep everything nice and neat and tidy. I used to have natural nails, but they used to take 9 months to grow. I actually have really strong natural nails. I'll insert a photo here, but as I say, they took 9 months to grow, and whenever one broke it was devastating. The misconception is that if you have fake nails that your real nails underneath get damaged, but that is only down to 2 things. A, acrylic can dry your nails out, and B, it's down to your nail technician filing away your natural nails far too much. If you do it yourselves, that doesn't happen. Now that I'm done with filing all of my natural nails, it's important to remove some of the tissue because it's covered in all of your natural nail filings, and if you leave them there they'll just get into contaminating other products and the gel when you get further down the line. Now this is a nail dehydrator, and I'm just using that around the edges where my skin and the cuticle is. This will just help to remove any oils and keep it all nice and dry from any oily residues getting into the gel when we start to apply it. Now for the exciting part, the tips. And if I could get these any longer I would, because we all know that I want to be LaQuisha Jones all of the time. With these, you want to make sure that you get the right size ones, and to measure that you're being the right size, you don't want to just push it onto the nail. You want to start at one corner and kind of roll it across the nail to see if it actually fits. If you don't do that, you can end up applying a nail that's too small for your nail, because if it looks like it's pushed on there from the straight on the top, it will look like it fits. But the bad point of that is, it doesn't actually fit, and when you get to finishing your nails, it can just ping off because it's under pressure, because it wasn't the right size tip. Once you've found all your right size tips and you've got them laid out, it's time to take that 100-180 grit file, and with this I just kind of like smooth the edges round, and then I take some of the bulk of the weight of the plastic off so that it blends into the natural nail a lot more easily when we apply the gel. You don't want to like a step there, because otherwise you're going to have to be applying too much gel and it's going to look really thick and bulky. I then take a small amount of nail glue, apply it to the inside of the tip, and then I kind of just like drag and push it onto my natural nail so it sticks. You then want to go on to repeat that process on all the rest of your nails. Once all those tips are applied, I'm just taking that black edge buffer file, and this has got a bit more of a coarser grit. So I like to only use this on the tips. I don't like to use that on my natural nail, because as I said earlier, you don't want to be filing them away too much, because then that's when you damage your real nails underneath. Once those tips have all been shaped and the shine's been buffed off of them so they've got a little bit more texture for the gel to stick to, I'm just going in with a nail primer. Now I don't really know too much about what these do, but I just presume that they do exactly the same as what a facial primer would, and they basically just act as a glue so that the gel can adhere to the nail stronger. And again, you want to make sure that all of the buffings and the filings from the nail tips themselves are all removed. But we're going to be a little bit eco-friendly here, and we're going to fold up that paper and use the other side of it because we've got to save the planet, bitch. And now it's on to the gel itself. Now this can be a kind of a tricky thing to work with, and it did take me a little while to master. But the best thing with this is it is actually a self-leveling gel, so you don't have to worry too much about getting your nail work level. But you just want to make sure not to flood the cuticle area, or try not to get it on some of the skin around the nail. You also don't want to apply too much at once, because with it being self-leveling, it will just start to run off of the nail. The one thing I have found with doing this is to make your little kind of like smile line, I presume you'd call it, around the cuticle area. Make sure that that's a nice circular and round shape, because you should begin to build up the different layers, because I'm going to go in to do 3 layers with this. That kind of builds up and stays there and levels out itself, so you don't have to worry too much around working with the cuticle. With this, it is kind of a trial and error thing, but you just want to make sure to do thin layers at a time and then just work your way from there. Don't try and rush it, just go as slow as possible and eventually you'll get a hang of it. Once I've got a layer of gel applied to all of the nails, I take them and I put them into the lamp for 2 minutes. The amount of time you leave it in the lamp will depend on the gel you're using, but this one I'm using has a 2-minute cure time. A little thing with this that is a kind of a heads up, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes once it's in there, the nails kind of heat up and it kind of gives it like a tingling, burning sensation. Sometimes it can really hurt. That's just a little heads up that I've found. With me being self-taught, I'm probably doing something wrong and it's carcinogenic or something, but if there's any nail technicians out there watching the video, please tell me why that happens and if I'm doing anything wrong. Once you've got 3 or 4 layers of that gel laid down, they've got up to a nice thickness now, it's time to start applying all of those beautiful colours. And although the gel does have a tacky finish to it, I found that you need to apply the colours into a wet layer of gel itself. And if of course you're applying this to your natural nails at home and you skip to this part and you're using clear nail varnish, you can definitely use that and apply the glitter, dusting it in exactly the same way as I'm doing with the gel. Just you're using a different product, which is clear nail varnish, and that's perfectly fine. As with all of my tutorials, makeup, whatever, just use what you have. There is no need to go out and buy every single thing that I have. If you've got something red, use it. If you've got something blue, use it. If you've got a dupe for a product, always use it. Use what you have and make it work. But with that said, I am going to be a hypocrite. For the people that want to know, the list of the glitters that I'm using here will be in the description below. Sorry about that. But when you're applying the glitters, dusting it into gel or clear nail varnish, you want to start with the first colours of the rainbow and work your way down, obviously as you would. So I'm just dusting red at the base, and then I'm slowly working through to orange, yellow, green, blue and purple at the tip. Being as my nails weren't really long enough for all of the colours, I did mix the blue and the purple together so it gave a little bit more of an ombre at the tip. And of course with the design you could alternate it, or you could work from purple to red. You could do many different things with this. You can get really adventurous with it and kind of do like tie-dye nails. Just go carefully and you can get all the different colours in there, but I chose to do the kind of rainbow flag from the red to the purple, starting from the base of my nail. This is a very messy job, and if you're scared of glitter and mess, I'd advise not doing this at all because it gets everywhere. But it's for gay pride, and if it's not rainbow and glittery, I'm not interested. It makes a change from my jet black styled life. For this layer of gel that has the glitter in it, I make sure to apply it into the lamp for double the amount of time, so I cure this for 4 minutes, just so that it can seep through and make sure that all the gel's cured with having that glitter in it. After that layer of glitter gel is cured, I then apply one more layer on top of that, which I kind of class as the sealing coat, and that just makes sure that all that glitter is locked in and it isn't going to rub off. That coat, once it is dried in the lamp for 2 minutes, will still be slightly rough, so I then apply a second coat on top of that, which I then call the top coat, because that will make sure that everything's smooth, glossy and finished. And with that done, it brings us to this point. All the glitter artwork is done, all the glitter is sealed in with 2 coats of gel, and it's just time to remove that tacky layer after it's all been cured with the finishing wipe. And that's it guys, the Rainbow Gay Pride nails are complete. If you do ever go doing this yourself on your own nails, please tag me in photos either on Instagram or Twitter. The links to my social media links will be listed in the description below. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, bye bye.